Raiding and traveling. These are things that the Vikings did a lot of. We paint pictures of the Vikings in armor, with swords, and spears, and shields, terrorizing other countries. We see them as thieves and just general bad guys. A study of the Vikings shows, though, that was part of what they did. It was part of the time and the culture at that point in time. I argue that that spirit still lives. Maybe it's just done through travel. Fehu's state of mind is a personal journey that I want to share. It is a quest for wealth, but not monetary. My journey is leading me to happiness, experience, and knowledge to create a better me. Join me on my adventure and dare to create your own. I am Sean McDaniel, and this is Fehu's State of Mind. So for me, for my channel, for the concept of Fehu, what I just said is, at the beginning, is integral. Fehu, for those who are new, was the concept of wealth, and it wasn't just monetary. It was knowledge, experience. It was anything that you could gain. And if we go back to the Viking Age, and we think about what was going on at that time, you were really at the cusp of modern society. You had the greater part of the Europe that was part of the Catholic Church and fallen under modern society's ideas of Christianity. And up north you had these guys that still practiced paganism, or what was called paganism, still is, and they worshipped the Norse gods called the Achaidh, and they saw things differently. They were from a different time period, and honestly, part of the reason that it's so abstract to us is because it was really before written word and had really taken off. So their accounts were mostly told via oral tradition. But these guys, they went around and they took what they could and they made their own way. It was a time where people normally either were in charge of things or were being told what to do, allowed to live on a place. The Viking, they lived under earls, and the earl took care of you, but you still could have your personal possessions, which a lot of times were captured by raiding. So that was their viewpoint, and that was their personal worldview. I'm not saying that going around and killing and raiding is correct, but I think that spirit lives on. I know it lives on for me, because while this started out to just be a channel about living life, and it still is, I find the most fulfilling times in my life are often when I'm traveling. As I've often quoted, Anthony Bourdain said, "The more I travel, the less I know." And I fully believe that's the truth in many cases, and in some it's not. It's for example, Scotland. For me, the more I traveled Scotland, the more I understood about my own self, why I never can choose between the mountains or the beach. It just, certain things made so much more sense when I got to see where my people came from, and a place I'd never been felt like home. So for me, that travel And while this isn't a travel channel, I wish it could be, that travel is definitely part of Fehu. It's definitely part of what you can gain out of life. And it's experience, it's knowledge, it's learning about yourself, learning about others, and realizing that you don't have all the answers. We live in a world where, and I'm even guilty of it, we carry all the answers in our pocket on a phone. You know, and especially in modern times, there's now fake news and real news, and we don't ever know where it ends, but it's easy to share something without thinking and just it be quote unquote fake news. And it kind of is a shame, because generations before us have always sought wisdom, and I really do believe that wisdom is part of what you can gain in life. And you know, if you look at the Bible, so an example of wisdom would be Solomon's words in Proverbs: "The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction." And I mean, there's similar text in the Havamal that says the same. It just comes down to understanding and learning to live life. It's a cyclical thing, though, because the only way to gain wisdom and be able to be wise is to live. And in that period of living, we often trip up, we often make mistakes, we often are not wise. So what we get from our version of raiding, in my opinion, travel, is we get to gain wisdom. You get to learn things you didn't know. This video has shown some footage from different trips I've been on recently, headed out to Oklahoma, headed to Scotland, you know, some beach trips, and in every opportunity that you have to go somewhere and to learn, you get a chance to gain wisdom. And it doesn't just have to be traveling far away. I happened to be downtown the other day and got to meet this awesome couple from Colorado. They were just hanging out in Portsmouth, and you know, it was a cool chance for me to talk to somebody from a place I've never been. I haven't been to Colorado, and I learned some things. Like, we were talking about their legalization of marijuana, and if you listen to what we're told, it seems things have gotten better in Colorado and things have kind of tamed down. But what they explained to me was that you go into Denver and there's people that are begging all over the place, and there's people that live on the streets now, and there's people that are choosing to move to Colorado and not get jobs because they want to take part of the marijuana culture in Colorado, but they're not putting back in, they're not giving back. But you know, we are in a time where we've become too willing to just discount wisdom at the possibility of hurting somebody's feelings. And I think that wisdom's paramount. And I think wisdom comes from traveling. I think it comes from doing modern raiding, which is going and learning culture. So I hope this inspires people to travel, see the world, go do things, you know, grab life by the horns, and keep a check on this channel. I got new content coming out. I have a partnership coming up with a new YouTuber who's doing some really cool things. That's coming up at the end of this month, and I think that will be the beginning of season 2 for my channel. Not that I'm actually at what would be a season 2 mark, because I'm not quite at a year, but there's some refreshing I'd like to do. There's some things that I've seen that I'd like to push myself forward, and I think it's time to kind of refresh the channel a little bit and do that. So season 2 effectively will be starting at the end of this month, I think. So if you don't see something after this video, There was going to be another video, but the video is all messed up. I just can't get the frames per second to work right on the computer. If I can do something about that, I will. But if you don't see another video for another 2 weeks, that's why. I'm going to move into season 2, and we're going to keep doing this Faye Who State of Mind thing. Be checking the website, check the Facebook out, the YouTube. As always, subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell, because it's the only way you're going to get updates as to when videos are posted. I've enjoyed doing this from June till now, and I look forward to continuing it on in the coming year and coming years. Hopefully I can keep it up. So thank you for watching, and let me know what you think. And remember, as always, this is my adventure. What will yours be? Thank you, and bye.